Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan with Keith Jackson here at the 81st Rose Bowl game. Penn State, will they come out today as the other undefeated team and let go all barrels in an effort to impress the pollsters? With this footnote that no team holding first place that won a postseason game has ever been voted out of first place. Brett Conway will kick off for Penn State. Oregon will return it with Ricky Whittle and Herman O'Berry. The temperature is just under 70 degrees. The field condition is perfect. It's a gorgeous day in Pasadena. And Brett Conway now ready. Penn State was here in 1923. Oregon was last year in 1958. It's Ricky Whittle from the 8. And he comes back to about the 18. There, the Oregon Ducks will put it into play. Josh Wilcox, the tight end, also flexes out. Here's your first snap of the day. Penalty flag's thrown. They try to bring it inside with McLemore. He picks up a couple of yards, but let's see about the flag. It'll be offsides against Penn State. So there is some anxiety running through the minds and souls of these youngsters. So the offsides penalty against the Nittany Lions gives Oregon a 1st and 5 up at the 24. And this is Whittle, 193-pound junior out of Fresno, California, getting just across the 25. Second down and 3. It is O'Neal looking to the right. He's got nothing right there. They stay with a run. They go to Whittle. He's caught by the ankle. He can't break loose from Willie Smith, and he is taken down after about a yard pickup. So it's a sticky wicket in the middle against this defensive bunch, and Willie Smith, who just made that last tackle, I think will have a big day today because he has grown this year, I think, into a terrific football player. In the secondary, Bob, there's a new man.
Penzinek starts at free safety. Dingle and Doring, Herring and Dingle both out. There's a look at Penzinek. His first career start is the Rose Bowl.
Third down, first pass thrown wide to the left side to Cameron Ricketts, and Ricketts goes up. It is just enough for the first. Put it up on the 34-yard line, and Andy O'Neal is probably pumped, wouldn't you say, at this point? That's Whittle bouncing over the right side, finding a little daylight. A penalty flag thrown. That was a 12-yard penalty against Oregon. So it moves it back and makes it a 1st and 22. Because holding is a penalty from the spot. O'Neal's pass down the middle. Caught by Josh Wilcox, the tight end. We've got another penalty flag. So the boys from the ACC brought the laundry with them, didn't they? Courtney Mosey with the call.
Dead ball. Delay of the game. Offense.
So the Ducks now absorbing their second penalty. They'll be looking at 2nd down and 6, having almost picked up the first down on 1st and 22. O'Neal back, short drop, quick pass, bring it back into the middle, into the traffic, and there's the first down. Caught by Cameron Ricketts. Ricketts is 5'9", 177, sophomore out of Culver City, California. On the 49, first down for the Ducks as they near midfield. Penn State offense is yet to see the ball. This is Whittle. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but shakes off the tackler and gets it across midfield to the Penn State 48-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Ball on the Nittany Lions 48-yard line. O'Neal down the middle. Pass is underthrown. Josh Wilcox was breaking free. If O'Neal had had a little deeper drop,
incomplete.
He might well have had 6 points in his pocket. That pass is poorly thrown by O'Neal. Eldon has been quite dependable this year, averaging just under 40 yards per punt.
He's been busy too. He's
yes, he has
77 punts.
Gets some air under it, and Archie calls for a fair catch at the 16-yard line. It is first down for the Lions with Milne and Kajana Carter lined up in the backfield. Brady Scott is the man in motion. Here's Carter. And breaks it. He's gone. Goodbye. It'll be touchdown Penn State, first play of the ball game. It goes into the books as 83 yards. Brett Conway for the point. It's good. That is the longest Penn State run of the year by Ki-Jana Carter. It is not a Rose Bowl record. The record held by Tyrone Wheatley of Michigan against Washington in the '93 game when Ty went 88 yards. Ki-Jana just went 83 officially. Now Penn State will kick off to the Oregon Ducks, who have tasted reality. Out of the end zone, no. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Dino Filiol, number 12, is now the tailback. Whittle had the first series. O'Neal's pass completes to Josh Wilcox. Wilcox, the tight end, who's a little faster than you might suspect, has the first down for Oregon, and one of the Lions is shaken up.
It's Penzinik.
And Penzinik will come off the field.
So now they're down to their 6th free safety.
O'Neal is back to throw, setting up the screen. Pass to Filiol. Filiol's on the sideline. Great speed. Comes out of Dudley, North Carolina. And he's got a first down for the Oregon Ducks inside the Penn State 35. All right, here's Oregon. First down, Penn State 34-yard line. Danny O'Neal back to throw it. He has time. He has a man. Wilcox, he's at the corner. Out of bounds, just short of the 1-yard line. So Josh Wilcox, the tight end, almost sneaked in for 6. Oregon ready from the 1-yard line. First and goal. Play goes into the middle, and the Lions stuff it. May have lost on the play. And a penalty flag on top of it. Offsides, Penn State. O'Neal will throw it. Has his man. Touchdown, Wilcox. Matt Belden is in for the extra point to tie. Got it. Kick's got a lot of air under it, not too deep. Taken by Fletcher. Pretty good licks laid on out there as he comes out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Second offensive play of the game for Penn State. Now back to the Ducks know where Ki-Jana is. College back to throw it. Throws underneath to the fullback out of the backfield. Brian Milne, and he's wrestled down at about the 27. Brady hasn't seen the ball yet. Into the middle goes the fullback, Milne. Lions have a first down, 37-yard line. Carter's second carry of the ball game, and this time the Ducks get a hold of him. They got him just about the line of scrimmage. That pitch is swung out to Carter. Number 56 over there in a hurry to get a piece of it. And Troy Bailey, the defensive left end from Honolulu, got enough of Carter to slow him down. It is third down and 8 now, and Mike Archie is in the backfield, a very good pass receiver for the Lions. He goes in motion, and Collins is back. Pressure's coming. They're after it. He throws it to the ground. That's exactly what Oregon wants to do. The referee threw a penalty flag. All right, Herman O'Beary, cornerback, goes back to receive. It's a 21-yard penalty and a loss of down, so the Lions, for their punt, go back inside the 20, and Darrell Kania will do the punting. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is a 7-7 ball game. The very first play for Penn State. Ki-Jana Carter went 83 yards. The Ducks came right back. Kania's kick is out of there. It's a good one. Fielded by O'Beary. He is taken down almost in his tracks. That is very good coverage by Penn State's Chuck Penzinik. As Oregon comes to the ball again, in conversation with Coach Rich Brooks, I asked him what kind of a game would he like to play.
Well, I would like to have a game where Penn State on first down is stopped to where they're either 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 at the very best. If we're able to control Penn State on first down, I believe we'll be able to get in to do the things that we do well on defense. And offensively, we're going to have to score a lot of points because it's unrealistic to think Penn State isn't going to score some points.
So the ball rests now at the 47 of Oregon, where it is 2nd down and 5. 7-7 tie. There goes Whittle. He now becomes a wideout as he breaks into the open on the sidelines, catches the ball, gets first down. In front of Tony Pittman. You've got Whittle and Phil Yaw both in the backfield right now for Oregon. O'Neal pumps it. He takes it down the middle of the tight end. Wilcox again, and Wilcox moves it inside the Penn State 35 for a first down. You got a double tight end, Blake Spence and Josh Wilcox sharing the position. They both play a lot. O'Neal is back. Lets it go down the middle. This will be intercepted. It is picked off by Chuck Penzinik. He threw that one up for grabs. That was a bad decision.
Sometimes you try to take advantage of a position, the free safety position, and you don't read the coverage.
Here goes Carter. And DeJohn, his second effort. Again, they thought they had him, and 2 yards later, they finally do. 2nd down and 6. Here comes Carr, stumbles a little bit this time, and the Ducks get him short of the line of scrimmage. Mark Slyman.
The ball carrier.
Penn State's 3rd down conversion rate on the season was 53%. Kerry Collins looks deep, goes underneath. Ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. And 4th down. Here's the kick by Kenya, another pretty good punt. Herman O'Berry back, takes it on the run, and comes back across almost to midfield, to about the 49-yard line. This is Whittle, and he gets to the 45. It's the best starting point of the ball game for either team from their own 49-yard line, and that's a pickup of right close to 6 yards for Whittle. There's contact and penalty flag.
Defense, offside, 5 yards, first down.
That'll be a first down for Oregon on the contact along the line of scrimmage by the Penn State defender. Sometimes you're sharp, and sometimes you're not quite so sharp for a while when you come back after a layoff. O'Neal steps away, gets away, picks up some real estate on his own. Dino Filio, the signal back, McLemore's #1, he's in motion. Ball on the 34, pressure coming, O'Neal better hurry. Dumps it in a hurry, gets it to Filio. He's down the sideline, and a first down around the 15-yard line for the Oregon Ducks. First down at the Penn State 15-yard line. That ball is thrown to Filio. It is out of bounds. Did he have possession? No, incomplete forward pass. After that lightning bolt by Carter, Oregon's pretty much had control of this first quarter. That ball is thrown to Filio. He puts his head down and finds his way to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 for the Oregon Ducks at the Penn State 10. Shotgun. Give it to Filio over the left side. Down close to a first down. Depends on the mark. Ben Stewart brought him down.
Ben Stewart making the tackle.
And I think he's just short. So Belden is out to try the kick. Ryan Perry-Smith will hold it. And Rob Williams will snap it. 23-yard field goal try. He's 6 of 6 inside the 24. He missed it. Oh my goodness.
He'd pull it to his left, but he just pushes this one wide to his right.
All right, here comes Penn State from the 20-yard line. Kerry Collins back to throw it, has all day. Now he lets it go, and the pass is caught by Bobby Ingram, and here's the penalty flag. And you're going to get a flag thrown on Reggie Jordan for hitting Kerry Collins late.
From the passer, on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
7-7 tie, headed for 2 minutes to go. Give it to Carter, working in the middle. And he gets the ball down to the Oregon 45-yard line. In the middle goes the fullback, Ryan Milne, 253-pounder. And he can pound on you.
Making the tackle.
Johnson gets that cut foot and heads upfield. He comes hard. That's a first down for Penn State. Collins, pressure, pass away, tied in. Kyle Brady, first time he's seen it today. Jeff Sherman takes him down at the 35-yard line. We go to the second quarter of play in the Rose Bowl game. We have a new tandem in the Penn State backfield. John Whitman at fullback and Mike Archie at tailback. Freddie Scott is yet to see the ball today. He's the man in motion. Handed to Archie into traffic, 1 yard. That'll do it.
Carter has 99 yards in the first quarter alone.
Third down and a short 6. Kerry Collins quickly to the sideline. Pass is caught by Bobby Ingram, and they'll give him the mark for the first down at the 28-yard line of Oregon. Here's Kajana Carter carrying the ball in the middle, and they finally wrestle him down, but again, he's got about 6 yards. Slips and down he goes on one knee back at the 34. So he's back to a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. Ducks coming after him. Collins slips and doesn't go down. Pass to the end zone. Scott had it on his fingertips and couldn't hold it. Brett Conway for a field goal try from the 36 for 46 yards. He doesn't get it. The Oregon Ducks celebrate their defensive effort. Jones and Whittle in the backfield behind Danny O'Neal now. Oregon ball, first down, 29-yard line. O'Neal back, gets some pressure, gets his pass off. Pass is caught by Jones out of the backfield. Cameron Ricketts and Kristen McLemore to the left side. O'Neal getting pressure. Willie Smith, they throw it to Ricketts. He can fly, and he is caught from behind. It's first down, Oregon, 45-yard line. 7-7 tie. Second quarter of play. O'Neal gives to Whittle. Oregon, he slipped a little bit when he planted to make his cut too. Second down and 7. O'Neal turns, throws over here, pass is caught by McLemore. Trying to set a screen for him, and he's short of the first down by a yard. Third down, a yard and a half. They run for it, give it to Whittle, won't get there. Ricky Whittle is hit almost before the line of scrimmage by number 8, Jason Collins. Good snap. Kick is away. Good kick. Very high. Archie with a fair catch call at the 12 on his knees. And at 9:43 to play in the first half, we're tied at 7. All right, let's see what Nick Aliotti decides to do here with his defense. Penn State ball back on the 12-yard line. Carter is the deep man. Here comes Bobby Ingram on a reverse. Chad Cota takes him down at the 17. Gain 5 yards. Second down and 5. Got him. And Carter losing the football, didn't he?
He sure did.
Oregon, I think, had their hands on the ball. Now, whether they kept it or not, I don't know.
Well, the ball was out. He was not down. Ball was out early.
Oh, I think somebody blew a call. All right, Kerry Collins has his play. He moves the fullback over. Now comes back in motion and pitches it to Kajana Carter on third down and 2. And he does not get the first down. Jeremy Asher, inside linebacker number 44, a junior from Tigard, Oregon, makes the tackle. Good snap. Kick was out of there. Good kick. Berry. Penalty flag is thrown. They may not have given him enough room. Let's see about it.
On the kicking team.
It's interference on Penn State, 39-yard punt. So put the football just beyond the 45 for the Oregon Ducks. And first down. .49 to go in the first half. 7-7 tie. Filio on track. And Bolts for about 9 yards. O'Neal's pass completed to Wayne Jones. Matt Diggs
pass
leaving too
complete to
soon.
Dwayne Jones.
That's against Oregon. That's against Oregon. So you got 2 separate penalties. They accepted the motion penalty. O'Neal better hurry. Gets it out. And it is incomplete. The pass intended for Blake Spence. 3rd and 8. Willie Smith after O'Neal. He's got it. Willie Smith. Mike Archie. Waiting for the punt. Eldon gets a handle this time. Archie all the way back to the 9. And tackled at the 14. Up to 14. Collins lets it go. He has a man on the sideline. And the pass is completed to Freddie Scott. This is to John Carter. Oh, comes out. Oregon diving. Got a shot at it. Ducks have it. Second fumble by Carter. Ricky Whittle, the deep back. Danny O'Neal trying to cash it quickly. Gotta hurry. Can't do it. Lions knock him down. They need him. They slowed down when he left the ball game. This is Whittle looking for a track to run in. The Lions are not going to give it to you at this point in time. Number 6, Aaron Collins, and Tony Pittman. He's a blocker. Pass down the middle is good, but it's short of a first down. The pass is caught by Pat Johnson. Matt Belden now, and we've decided it's a 44-yard try. Actually 44 and a half, if you want to be precise about it. His longest is 47. And it's on its way, and it is no good. He's missed 2. Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, wide open. He ran Molden off. Molden was 10 yards down the field, running around looking for him, and he catches the ball. I don't want to watch it if it's like that. That's a good pass by Kerry Collins. Strong arm, and again he's going.
You've got to get the ball to your wide receivers. Both
Herman
Ingram
O'Berry.
and Scott both averaged 20 yards per reception.
Carter over the left side, going deep with the receiver. The pass thrown toward him, and it is incomplete. Fullback, John Whitman. He does not get to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 12. Collins going deep. He's got a man. It's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Joe Jurevicius. Fullback, John Whitman. And he does not get over the top. Fullback, that's the other reason. Ryan Mills. He slams it in there. Knuckleball, but he got it through. Ball is fielded, and the return will be well short of the 20-yard line. Before he leaves, and I know he's going to have to leave town shortly, but I just wanted to say hi and thank him for coming out and joining us. The Grand Marshal of the Tournament of Roses, Chichi Rodriguez.
Keith, it's nice being with you, and this is the first football game that I've ever watched in my life, and I tell you, I used to think that baseball was my favorite sport. Football has become #1 sport in my heart. This is the greatest sport that I have ever seen. I think that football is great for the young people, and they are the future of America, so we have to take care of the young people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chichi Rodriguez, the Grand Marshal
Chichi,
of the
good to see
Tournament
you.
of Roses Parade. Had a good time. We're delighted always to see it. Here's Danny O'Neal running out, throwing, good. McLemore, Kristen McLemore with a catch for first down. 14-7, Penn State holding the lead. Danny O'Neal gets it off down the middle. Pass is caught by Johnson. Pat Johnson, the speedster. Pass all the way across the field. Caught by Ricketts. He eludes 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers, and finally taken down after another first down
First and 10.
They're going to play right now. Here they go.
A little short out.
O'Neal on a rollout. Got to hurry and gets out of bounds. He's looking for McLemore. He goes underneath McLemore to Josh Wilcox for first down at the 11-yard line. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. That's McLemore. He's knocked down at the 10-yard line. He didn't throw it in the end zone.
He didn't get out of bounds.
And they're not going to score. Time's going to run out on them. They did not get out of bounds. You got to throw the ball into the end zone. So they don't do the two things they had to do. And the half is over. Eldon, who missed 2 field goals in the first half, knocks it back to the 1-yard line. And Archie comes back to the 20-21. All right, here come the Nittany Lions up to the 21-yard line, first down with Carter and Milne. The backs behind Kerry Collins. And Kerry on first down comes out throwing to the fullback. John Whitman checks into the backfield now for the Lions. Second down and about 7. Collins again throwing to the sideline.
Good throw.
Good throw, and the man under it is Freddie Scott. So it's third down and a long 6 for Penn State.
Here they come.
Connor Carter on a pitch, pops out of there, but they finally bring him down. They almost had him again. If you don't wrap Carter, you're not going to take him down. All right, Herman O'Berry is waiting for Darrell Kenny's punt. One fellow may be lined up in the neutral zone. Kick is out of there. Good. That is a very good kick. Berry retreats all the way to the 22-yard line. There's a penalty flag down, and O'Berry is taken down by Stephen Pitts.
Here we go, block in the back on the receiving team.
Yep.
Post scrimmage kick foul. We'll go from the end of the kick, 10 yards.
They're just outside the 10-yard line for the first down after the penalty. And they give it to Whittle, and Whittle is taken down up around the 12. O'Neal flips it out to Whittle. Whittle looking for some help on the corner, didn't get it. Picked up a couple of yards. Third down and 6. They're 1 out of 7 on third down conversions. O'Neal's got a problem. Now you need to throw it, but he can't do it. He can't pull that trigger in those circumstances.
The reason he can't pull the trigger, there's nobody open, Keith.
Nobody downfield.
Nobody open.
Eldon's punt, not bad. And he's got Archie in a fair catch back at the 39. That's a very good point. Punt by the freshman from Arizona. Freddie Scott, number 31. He has not seen the ball much today. He's in motion. Kerry Collins looking for him. There it is. And it's a first down. Right about the 50-yard line. Here's Kerry Collins. You drop it off to Archie, looking for a screen. Got loose on the sidelines. And Jeff Sherman, the free safety, knocks him out. Ball is at the 33, first down. For the Lions.
They're faking it now.
Give it to Archie. And they're still keyed to the run. Second down and 10. Collins hit as he throws. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for the tight end Kyle Brady. Collins looking for it again, throws a bullet, and he drills it to Freddie Scott. And he's short of the first down. So Brett Conway trots onto the field, and he will try a field goal. Plenty of leg. Got it. Oh no, he missed it. Pulled it out. First down for the Oregon Ducks. The ball at the 25-yard line. Danny O'Neal back, has time. Now they flush him. And he's going to pick up some. Got about 7 yards on the play. Dino Filio in the backfield now, and they run him up close to the 35. O'Neal trying for the second effort may have gotten it, but I don't think so. I don't think he got it. All right, they'll punt it on 4th and a half a yard, or a full yard now. It's a good snap. Good pressure though. The kick's out of there. Mike Archie has to back up and let it bounce. And it gets an Oregon roll. It keeps on trickling and will finally expire at about the 21-yard line. And Collins throwing on first down. Down the middle. Pass complete. Kyle Brady tied in. That's Freddie Scott in motion. He leaves Ingram on the near side. There's the wide man. Hand it to the up man, the fullback, number 22, Brian Milne. Oregon again lines them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here they come.
Passes away, and the pass is incomplete. Alex Molden covering Freddie Scott. That's a pretty good matchup there. On 3rd down, Kerry Collins has time to pump it, then takes a lick, completes the pass. First down. It's become Kerry Collins' ball game now, hasn't it? Yep. Back to throw again on first down to the sideline. The pass is complete to Mike Archie. And Archie has what appears to be another first down or very close to it. Second down and very short. Collins dancing around and coming after him, but he gets his pass away. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Reggie Jordan. And Jordan is knocked out of bounds down at the 17-yard line. By Jones, fullback out of Lafayette, California, and Gelsheiser is right there. You could hear that one all the way in Pomona.
Oregon had 29 passes first half, none yet this half.
O'Neal's pass to the corner. Gotta be good. It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, folks. Here's the kick. And he just barely got it through, so Belden's having a hard time with this place kicking stuff today, but we're tied at 14. Ambrose Fletcher at the 7. That's fresh legs. Finally got him.
Those
at
fresh
the 21-yard line.
His fresh legs wore out, didn't they?
This is Carter. And Kajana Carter is taken down by Kenny Wheaton.
Here they come.
Carter again. He's gone.
Yeah.
Wide open left side. Bang. Penn State comes right back and regains the lead. Took 1 minute and 1 second. And Conway is good on the point. Well back in the end zone. No return by Whittle. They'll bring it out to the 20. Villiers on a screen. Yeah, he got some room. Oh, my goodness. First down for the Ducks now, up at the 40. Neal's over 300 yards. Look out, Willie Smith's coming. Pass down the middle. That'll be picked off. Bad pass. And Nittany Lions are cooking. It is Chuck Penzenik who made his first start in this ball game. This is his second interception. He runs it all the way back to the 13-yard line. And here's Penn State knocking on the door.
Pass.
Back it comes to Collins. Collins is hit just as he catches the ball. And he will pick up a couple of yards. Kajana Carter and Brian Milne in the backfield, and that's Scott in motion. And it's Carter with the ball. Oh, I tell you, he is quick in traffic. Now, it was the offense early on. This is Carter, and he's touchdown. Brett Conway for the extra point. Good. And they've been running that play and doing that. Successful teams have since before Knute Rockne, folks. Ain't nothing fancy there.
You're exactly right.
It just button heads and big fast people beating little fast people. quick hitter over the left side. That ball is thrown right through the hands of Dameron Ricketts.
Gain of 5 yards, 1st and 10 Oregon.
32-yard line. And O'Neal back. Throws to Whittle. Whittle's in trouble with Willie Smith. Gets away from him, but steps out of bounds.
You know, Keith, I mean, I'm not against a playoff, but if you can convince me that it wouldn't hurt the bowl system as we know it today. This is a great bowl.
Yes, it is.
We've got 100 and over 100.
That's Whittle with the ball, and he's got an Oregon first down up on the 45-yard line. That's a defensive play by the Penn State Nittany Lions, Terry Killen. We go to the final 15 minutes, and it's put-up time for the Oregon Ducks. They're looking at 2nd down and 16. They trail 28-14. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Danny O'Neal back, has pretty good protection. His pass is away to Christian McLemore. 3rd and 4. O'Neal's pass to McLemore in the middle of the field, and he's got a first down as he's inside the 30. Same thing, except misses Ricketts.
They are the Cinderella team, unquestionably. They beat Southern Cal, they beat Arizona and Washington to get here.
O'Neal doesn't have anybody to throw to. Now throws it to the ground. 3rd down, O'Neal steps up. Throws, good, he is. Tried to get it to Wilcox, and Marlon Forbes got a hand on it and knocked it away. It's up. And he can't buy one. Harry Collins wanted to let it go. Now he does. He's got Bobby Ingram back there, and it is incomplete. Third down and 7. That's a good play by Molden on Bobby Ingram. That one slid off the foot. Bounced right back to where Pat Johnson was, but there are too many white shirts around it. Danny O'Neal. O'Neal steps away from the pressure, turns it upfield, and runs for very close to the first down. Depends on where they give him the mark. That's Christian McLemore with the ball. 2nd down and 4, short 4. There's the first down. It's Filial, and Dino moves it to the Penn State side of the field, the 48-yard line. O'Neal is now over 400 yards in total offense.
And then the speed burner.
Ball loose. He came away, it came off the snap, didn't stay down under it. Just a good 3, 2nd down and 13, 12, 10 to play in the game. 28-14, the ball is slapped down. Intended for Christian McLemore. 3rd down, big play here for the Ducks. Yeboah Cody, got him. What a good play by Phil Yeboah Cody. Didn't get it to turn, but it takes a good bounce. And Wolves net at about the 13-yard line, a 47-yard punt. First down for the Nittany Lions, and this is to John Carter. And they're able to keep him from turning. The corner is Alex Molden. Oh, look at this. They swarmed him. Paul Jensen was the first man to get there. Pass was too high and behind Bobby Ingram. Oregon's going after this one. Kania in the end zone. Should hit it about the 1-yard line. They've got 10 Ducks up there. But he gets it out. And a fair catch as Johnson lets it go. Well,
better get out of the way of it,
yeah.
young man.
There are the most important numbers you need to know.
Oregon.
Time remaining and the score of the ball game. It is first down for the Oregon Ducks at their own 46-yard line. Danny O'Neill quickly to Ricketts. Cameron Ricketts running in the middle of the field. Will pick up 7 yards. Here's Whittle. And Whittle getting down the sidelines for a big play and a first down at the Penn State 31-yard line. Willie Smith got him. Ball came out, but he was down. Willie Smith one-handed him and took him down for a loss back around the 35-yard line. O'Neill throws that one intended for Christian McLemore, thrown behind him, and Chris really didn't have a chance to catch it. 3rd and 14. Smith again. No, it's not Smith. It's Terry Killens. Killens with a great play. Ball is out on the 35. 4th and 14. Oregon doesn't use the shotgun. Full rush, pass away. Pass is incomplete. Christian McLemore had his hands on it. The ball was just a little too high for him to reel it in. Mike Archie now is in the backfield with Brian Mills as the Nittany Lions take over at their own 35-yard line, and Mills with a strong run of 6 yards as a penalty flag is thrown on the far side of the field. Offsides, Oregon. Milne goes up the middle, picks up the first down. 48-yard line. And the Lions start to grind it now. And breaking up the middle is Mike Archie. And Archie inside the 35. And the Oregon Ducks defense is getting tired now. From the 34. The Ducks respond as Kajana Carter comes into the ball game. 2nd down and 13. Kerry Collins quickly hits Freddie Scott. And Scott will get inside the 30, and that'll be first.
Collins has
They're
completed
going to
Freddie
go just
Scott.
near the 24 for it.
It's interesting the mix of teams we've had in the last few years, too. A lot of different teams. Wisconsin won from the Big Ten last year. Michigan 2 years ago.
That pass is swung out to Mike Archie. And Archie is knocked out of bounds, and he is hit short of the 25, which means he's short of the
Mike
first down.
Archie.
43-yard field goal try, a lot of leg, it's good. Brett Conway. Whittle on the goal line. And he can't find the crack. Comes out to the 18,
Ricky
and there the
Whittle
Ducks
returning
start.
the
Here's a little bit of a delay with Killiall trying to pop out of there, and Dino can't quite get it done. He gets up to about the 20. Willie Smith shows blitz. And that won't get him the first down as McLemore makes the catch.
O'Neill.
Look out. Yeboah Cody. Phil Yeboah Cody, and Penn State will own the football down around the Oregon 13-yard line.
They've reached the low water mark for Penn State in scoring this year. They scored the lowest coming in was 31 points against Michigan. That was the lowest they've scored. They've reached that now. They got 31, and it looks like they may get more.
Ball at the 9-yard line. They give it to Whitman. He's down to the goal line, but not in. Oh, they call him in. He tumbles over like Barnegar, so he gets a chance to pop one up and through. Conway kicks it. High in the air. A lot of air on it. Ball is taken by Whittle at about the 6-yard line. And he's across the 25.
Hey, we're number one. You got to give us at least one of them. You got to get at least one of the polls. We're number one. We're number one. One of them. At least one of them. We're number one. Got to give it to us. Look at the score. Look at the score against Gang Green defense.
Well, there was a little lobbying for some votes. I'm just going to say the players and the coaches of Penn State came out and took care of business.
Josh Wilcox made that catch,
Danny
so he's
O'Neill's
all right,
pass
Mama.
completed to Josh Wilcox.
Josh got himself a tattoo, though, and his mama
Marlon
wasn't too
Forbes
happy about that. His younger
Brian
brother,
Gilheiser
incidentally,
on the tackle.
is quite a quarterback out of high school in Junction City, Oregon, and just this past week committed to going to school at Oregon. So the Wilcox name carries on at the University of Oregon. That's the first down.
How about the most exciting game we had this year? Game of the year.
This is Whittle down the sideline. Ducks haven't quit. They sure have at the 25-yard line. I thought the SEC championship game was pretty good.
Great game, wasn't it?
Your cooperation.
Oh yeah, best team in the country right here. Best team in the country.
Going to the end zone. Incomplete. That's a good defensive play. Pat Johnson, the speedster, was down there. That's Josh Wilcox again with another catch. That's Wilcox again for the first down. He's across past the marker, and he's got his first down. O'Neal threw that one away. Whittle trying to find his way down the sidelines, and he is finally pounded down at about the 5-yard line.
I like the guy.
Looked like he might get in for 6.
I like the fight of this young Oregon team.
Third down and very, very short. Whittle didn't get it. Now on second effort, he's going to get it. Look at him ride the back of that big old offensive side. O'Neal throws beyond the end zone. Incomplete. Whittle, touchdown. Ricky Whittle scampers in for 6. Going for 2. McLemore didn't get in. He did not get in. Here goes Carter. And Kajana Carter is out of bounds at the 34-yard line. This is Brian Milne. Oh boy, 24-yard line. Here goes Milne the other way, and they're just pounding now, just pounding as we come up on 1:20 to play. Play stopped in the middle. Final seconds ticking away. This will do it. This is Stephen Pitts.
Stephen Pitts.
And the game is over. The Penn State Nittany Lions defeat the Oregon Ducks 38-20.
Kajana, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the co-MVP with Danny O'Neal.
Thank you. You know, this is a dream come true. You know, since I was born, I've been raised up in the Big Ten, and Rose Bowl is everything. And for me to be an MVP on a national championship team, you know, that's more than anyone could, you know, ask for.
First play of the game, only took you 13 seconds to go 82 yards for the touchdown. What was going through your mind?
Well, I lost my slipping a little bit on that run, but then I saw deep and I hit him. I guess I ran him over, and I just act like someone's on my back, and I just took it in the end zone.
You think the team got down a little bit because that touchdown came so easy?
I don't think so. I think they gave us a little momentum. Oregon's a great team. You know, Danny O'Neal, he's more deserving of the MVP trophy also. And I'm just so happy, but I know our team stuck through, and I think our defense won this game. I got to give all the credit to our defense.
Here, how do you feel about the national championship? Is this team number one? Should there be a playoff?
I feel we have as much right to the national championship as Nebraska does. We played a tougher regular season schedule than they did. We came here, won the Rose Bowl by 18 points against a tough Oregon team. I mean, we deserve it. We've done all we can do. Now it's into the voters' hands, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to let anyone take away this feeling and what this team has done.
Now tell me what you really believe.
I think we're number one. I think we're the best team, and I think it's a shame that we're not going to play Nebraska. You know, I think there's room in that for college football, and they have to take a good hard look at what's going on here.